Hello, friends. Judy Herman here. I am so glad to meet with you today. I want to talk with you about something I hear in the counseling office often, and I hear it in other places, and I've also experienced it in my life, and you have experienced it in yours. I know, because even though I don't know you, I probably have heard parts of your story somewhere in my counseling. But and it's human. It's human. We all at some time or another know what it's like to deal with a difficult person in our lives. Some of us have very close relationships with a difficult person. Some of us work with a difficult person. Some of us have a boss that's very difficult. Some of us have family members, close bonded family members who are difficult people. I want to share with you 3 ways to deal with difficult people. So, number one, let's just accept it that it is normal. And actually, it's an opportunity to grow our character when difficult people and difficult conversations and our interactions show up, because they will. They will. And you can't really be in relationship and not experience this at some time or another. But first of all, I've got three C's, three CHs. Number one is challenge your perspective. Number two is change your part of the dance. And number three is choose to participate in healthy boundaries. Here's what I mean by that. Number one, challenge your perspective. If you see this difficult person is actually getting in your way, and that difficult person keeps showing up, and you still have this conflict and you're stuck, it's time to do something different. We need to begin to change our perspective. And sometimes it's difficult, it's difficult to even see difficult people in this way, but could you see them as gifts from God to help you gain more awareness about yourself? Could this difficult person be in your life for a bigger reason, perhaps to show you some blind spots in your own life? Now, there's a difference, I know, between difficult people and we say toxic people. I'll get to that. Hang with me on this. But if we challenge our perspective that this person is the evil one, or this person just wants this or that, you see, we have this person in our lives, but then we have a narrative about that person. And that narrative about that person can change so much about our perspective and how we either co-create this mess or not. So if you can imagine difficult people being in your life, or this difficult person in your life, and there's a reason for it, and you're going to be curious about what is that reason in your own heart and in your own soul, and even look at that person as a gift from God. And not that you need to keep on being in this difficult situation, but there's some people are in our lives for a reason. Some are here for a season and some are here for a lifetime. I'm talking about seeing that difficult person, that then that interaction is here for a reason in your life, and you want to find out about it, and you're considering this as opening your eyes and your awareness. Number two, so first of all, challenge your perspective. Number two, change your part of the dance. I do this often. I don't know if I have my little yes, my little statue. Okay, I have this sometimes on my shelf. But our relationships, now this doesn't have to be just romantic relationships, husband and wife relationships. This is all relationships, whether you're an adult child of a mom that's difficult or something, or another distant family member. You've got this relationship and you have this dance. So you're going to change your part of the synchronized dance. Now, here's what can happen easily. And this is an example that I came across recently with someone I was talking with, but someone was just carrying a whole lot of bitterness. This person, this family member, and this in my friend's life, and she was being accusatory from something that happened years ago. Well, here's the thing. You know, we get blamed. Sometimes people do live their lives and they're victims, and everybody else is wrong, which kind of, it keeps you from growing and growing up if you take that stance. But secondly, like whatever happened in the past that you had absolutely no clue about, and now you're trying to reconstruct that history, it's nearly impossible, basically, because none of our memories are 100% accurate. So we could go with the he said, she said, we could go with this is your story, that's my story, and that still does separate. But if we get to a point where, you know what, and I've got to share with you in my writing journey, my structural editor, Marion Roach Smith, as she helped me to edit my book, Beyond Messy Relationships, she had a whole lot of wisdom. Even though she was a structural editor, she was like my therapist for a time. She had a lot of wisdom. And she said, Judy, it's not what happened to you, but it's not what you did, but what you did with it. So whatever happened to you or whatever you did, what are you going to do about it now? So if you do have some accusations coming at you, you know, what is it that that person needs from you now? Can you say, thank you for sharing that with me? I had no idea. What do you need from me now? Now, if they're attacking you, you don't want to open yourself up for that. You just need to distance, which brings me to my next point. First is challenge your perspective. Second is change your part of the dance. And third is choose to participate in healthy boundaries. It's true that when we are in a relationship with someone, and when even we do this with things that we expose our minds to. If you're watching a lot of news, your mental energy is going to go into that whatever negativity you're picking up. So whoever you're listening to, and I'd like you to remember this, where your focus goes, energy flows. Okay. So if you are trying to, there's a bigger picture going on with this difficult person, and then you're trying to be the healer to them. You're trying to do for them what only they can do for themselves, which you can't do. But you don't want to facilitate this victim mentality in them, nor do you want to perceive yourself as, oh, if I only this, or if I only that, or if I just do this, that's not good either. We need to have whoever that difficult person to take responsibility, but you can't do that work for them. So, and you don't want that energy that they're accusing you of to be your focus. Okay. So it's very, very important to choose to participate in healthy boundaries. What does that look like? Perhaps it's not being available to them, Johnny on the spot. Perhaps if they send you a text, you need to wait a day or two before you respond. Maybe it's not even reading their text at all. Maybe it's blocking them in some cases. So there's all different levels, right, of difficult people. There are some that are, but you can be co-creating inadvertently some toxic patterns here, and we don't even know we're doing that. But remember, where your focus goes, energy flows. It's so very important that you clear your heart and your mind, and that you clear whatever guilt from the past, to, apologize, where you need to apologize, make restitution where you can make restitution. In other words, you're going to do the next right thing. Maybe it is showing compassion to that person. Maybe your softness toward them can soften them, but whether it does or doesn't, it's good for your own soul to respond appropriately and with peace in your heart, and to make sure you are going toward that peace. Okay, so sometimes that is setting some boundaries, is changing the relationship. So I highly recommend get around people who can affirm you, who can cheer you on, who can easily forgive you for mishaps, misunderstandings, and you just keep on being aware and being intentional and taking some risks of growth. Sometimes that's hard in some situations, but this is just a quick little teaching, 3 ways to deal with difficult people. Number 1, challenge your perspective. 2, change your part of the dance. 3, choose to participate in healthy boundaries. I'm Judy Herman, and here's what I'd love for you to do. If this message and this information helps, and you resonate with it, please like and share it and comment. And I would love for you to get a copy of my book, Beyond Messy Relationships. So you can go to judycounselor.com. And you are so very valuable. It's just what I really want you to do. There is a relationship stress quiz. If you're in a crazy situation and you need to get some grounding, take that relationship stress quiz. It's free on my website, judycounselor.com. But one thing I want you to know is that you are extremely valuable. And I want to encourage you that you have what it takes. You have what it takes to live in this present moment and to experience God's grace and love, and for you also to experience this deep within your soul toward yourself. All right. So, all right. Hope that this is helpful. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.